Hey, excuse me. Yo, yo, yo. All right. Actually, I need to turn this music down a little bit. So earlier, basically, I've been working on Skylounge. That's what I'm going to continue. This is kind of like a series of just building this app, and I figure why not share it? I'm like, I'm gonna be up like working late. Why not just go live on it? And I don't know. If you learn something, you learn something. Or if you just want to hang out. And actually, speaking of hanging out, I'm gonna bring up the that little play streams thing. It tells you like what track I'm listening to, and if you want to check out, listen to the same music I am, I have a jam I shared in the chat, I guess. Well, I'll share it in the chat right now. But so earlier I was working on Skylounge, so skylounge.social, which is basically like an X or Twitter alternative. Well, actually, an X or Twitter Spaces alternative that I'm going to be building around Bluesky and the AT protocol and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, so earlier I got the room creation modal set up, and then I also just got some basic navigation between the room's index page and then an actual room. And now I'm going to try to think about how to start setting up the interactive part of the room. So essentially, like initiating the session, um, microphone, like enabling the mic for the host or the speakers, and different things like that. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah. Earlier, I did have there was a little bit of a uh, stumbling setting up one of the API endpoints, but now that that's all good, I think it should be a lot smoother now. But yeah, let's get into some code, huh? Let me just gonna pull up the Stream Deck stuff. So yeah, also kind of doing a little bit of like chill mode. No lights tonight. Low light. Um, Kind of in that mood. And actually, I think I might have to change up the playlist because I'm not sure if I'm feeling this track right now. Nothing wrong with it. Love the track, just a different vibe. Let's see. But yeah, so yeah, earlier, like I said, actually, I'll guess I can share the site real quick. Yeah, you don't want to see YouTube. You want to see a site. So earlier, we basically got some of this stuff set up. We got this modal working in here. Obviously, a lot of stuff needs to be added here, and need to make it a lot nicer. Where like, if you start typing a name, it should probably auto slug it out, and then you can change that if you want to. There'll probably be some more options here as far as if you want to. This is the one thing actually I'm kind of going back and forth on, is because I was actually kind of browsing around the Twitter UI around spaces, and it's cool that you can schedule one in the future, but I'm almost looking at it as like two tiers. It's like you have a space, but um well, I mean, I guess in my scenario, it's not, you don't have spaces, you have these rooms. And then I kind of want a room to be something that could be like long lived. And then within that room, you'll have discrete sessions. But I don't know. We'll see if that makes sense or not. Because it kind of could also be cool to have like a room where it's kind of free form. You can kind of just like pop into it. Kind of thinking about like when you're, or at least when I was a kid, or not a kid, but like, you know, when I was have to go around and try to like find friends, you have to know the spots. And so it's kind of like, maybe this could be like a spot, you could just like show up and you got some friends hanging out. You just hop in and you hang out, kind of create that little like serendipity, but yeah, a place to go. And, pretty casual. But you get stoked if you see like, some people that they're convened in a room talking, and you know that it's also like totally cool just to hop in and join them. So I want to try to create that vibe. But totally see the point of having like scheduled sessions, and then also not sure if the room thing will work if it's just like a open free for all, especially with like the sessions thing. So I don't know. We shall see. Because I guess I was also earlier I was talking about restructuring the schema a little bit, so I can hop over there real quick. But the schema right now, and I guess I'm just gonna keep this music going. We'll get to maybe changing it up later, something a little bit more chill, but or maybe I just need to amp it up. I don't know. I'm not sure where I'm at right now, music wise. But so basically, we have this concept of a room, and I was thinking that a room will have a room kind of chat, maybe, which you can hang messages off of. But I guess where the real like organization of it comes in is the room would have a session. And it can have like, a start at that time and an end at that time, and the duration. Although the room has guests, I'm thinking it's actually more of like, if you could somehow package that session as, like you could, like historically, you could go and say like, oh, like on, last Tuesday, like there was 58 people here, and so and so we're here and talking, and who knows, maybe there's even a recording of that's available that you could go back and re-listen to, and also see the chat and stuff like that. So it's like the room has this kind of archive of this session that occurred, which kind of blows up the whole like freeform room. Just want to hop in, because then you'd have like, when does a session start and end? I mean, my naive approach was thinking that basically as soon as someone enters a room and another person enters a room, that kind of initiates like a session. But I could also see the scenario of if you had a scheduled session and people were potentially like queuing up early in the room even before it started, that you really wouldn't want to kick off until like someone hit a button and started talking or something like that. So I don't know. I can go a couple different ways on it, but that's just kind of what I was thinking. And so, yeah, it's kind of like I want to figure that out, but at the same time, I just don't have a, not like super clear on what I want to do there. But we do have room creation working, even though it's very limited right now. It's just name, description, privacy, and a slug, and then privacy is hard coded to just public for now until I figure out what those potential options are. And that privacy thing might even end up being its own kind of data structure, maybe. And then now that I'm thinking about it, I think a room session, even though it started at and ended at, it's cool. It might be a like a scheduled start time, scheduled duration type of thing. I mean, I like the idea of being able to create a room, or like a room plus a session, and then have people so basically like RSVP or join some sort of like notification list that they get reminders, or they can add it to their calendar when a certain session is going to happen. So yeah, just thinking through that stuff. But I might take a step back and actually go into the room itself. So right now, this is kind of our placeholder room we have going on here. Really, the only thing that is getting dynamically set is the room name and the description here and the header. My assumption is that actually all of the accounts will be associated to Bluesky, so I'll be relying on Bluesky for like names and handles and avatars and all that kind of stuff. So that way it'll be fresh and someone doesn't really have to manage that. It also means that basically, like when creating a room or inviting people to a room, people can access the like their followers or who they're following and starter packs and whatever else they have going on Bluesky. So I think that could be kind of cool. Maybe even preemptively creating a starter pack to associate to the room, in the event that just like people want to follow everyone who's like scheduled to talk or will talk or did talk in that room. Which also means that maybe that's a starter pack per session. Sorry, just writing some stuff down while I think about this stuff. Associated to room session. But yeah, I don't know. I can go either way on that one. The session thing, I think it makes it cool, but it also adds a little bit of complexity to it. Oh, they haven't released anymore yet. Sorry, yeah, just see if there's some tunes I should listen to. I guess we'll let this ride. So yeah, so actually I'm gonna create a provider out here in the, we're not gonna do it in our room or our UI. library. I think we're going to do it in our React library. So right now we have a Skylounge provider. Sorry. So we have a Skylounge provider that really is just there to set up some basic API stuff. So working against the API. Then nested under that, we have our auth provider. And then we have the, 10 stack query client provider stuff. And then we have our pages. So I think probably somewhere in here, we will I think we need to have basically like some sort of like a Skylounge room provider. And the idea there is essentially when you join a room, you're going to be setting the room information in that provider. It'll also kind of like broker all the updates that are happening within the room. And that way you can navigate around the site, and this is all like living in one place. So I think I'm going to set up, for now, I'm just going to go with the name Skylounge Room Provider. And then we'll set up our contacts for that too. Where's my auto? Yeah, there's some of my autos. So obviously this is a provider, but we need our Skylounge room contacts. Oops. We lost our export and stuff. That's fun. Why is that the autocomplete? Or context.provider. Render children. So yeah, I think it might have the room. Maybe it has messages, but I don't know. That might be its own kind of thing. But the one thing it does need to have is essentially when we ask for the get user media and we request microphone access, we're going to need a spot that stores that in a single spot too. So let me actually just do a little think on this real quick. So if we do the get user media, we need a single instance. That way we're not accessing it everywhere. So yeah, I might also make a media devices context. And we'll eventually flesh this thing out to where it knows exactly what it's doing, but oops. Make that TSX. But oops, sorry. I'm over here making this provider too. And then we'll probably have some helpers, but that'll probably be in hook form. That will use methods off of here though, so I have some callbacks, I guess. So I'm just gonna look over here. So get users at media. Okay. But yeah, maybe this takes some options. So actually it's media stream. So we have media devices. We also have media streams. This media devices is a wrong thing. Yeah, we will need that too. It's like essentially if you want to like pick your microphone and stuff, and then I think that should be the only thing you might have to pick, because I guess you would control. I should go and look at. Yeah, I wasn't dealing with like monitors on transmits, but that should be it. And actually, this should just, unless we want to refresh this, that should also just be called when this component mounts. And we don't need options. Then yes, I would like use effect in there. So we'll need that, and then we'll need also a callback for get user media. It's just a single media stream. And right now it is null. And it might be a media stream or no. Yeah, I did mean that. So let's see. I feel like that's getting pretty close. But yeah, yeah, we'll see. So let's look over here. Excuse me. So yeah, we might be able to set up some of the media stream stuff. Maybe get a little yeah, actually, let me just do a thing that renders out the media devices real quick. We also want to show that here as well. Or yeah, media. Oh, we'll call it media devices. Back to what it was. Set media devices. So make a little. Guess it'd be media. So it'd be like a media device select. Oops, I run code. Double checking. I feel like I've been burnt too many times with Ecamm switching the window on it. I don't want to go another stream where I am talking about code I'm writing and it's the wrong window. So we'll get media devices from. I guess we'll set up this hook too. So use media devices, I guess. Use media devices. Which for now is just going to return the. It's just going to return the context of the media devices context. And then we'll have the media devices from the, let me export that hook real quick. Use media devices. And then this is a media device info. And then we got to do some stuff with our media devices context. So we'll have media devices, media stream, get user media. Start filling it out. Cursor, come on. There we go. All right, what's going on here? Okay. So we have that now. Just gotta throw this in this page over here. I'll just like chuck it in a header or something just temporarily and until we figure it out. I have to export this one too. So I'll get all this wired up. To see what we're working with. Pretty sure there's a way of no. Do we not have any? Oh wait, I didn't compose this into the app, that's why. I also need to export all those out. Like, what's going on? It's like, well, probably got to add it to the app first. Media stream is not assignable to the type null. Yeah, we'll come back to that. So we should have all that. Now we just need to add it here. So we have our media devices provider. And we're getting that from, oops. All right, now let's see what we got cooking over here. We getting some stuff. We have options, we're just not rendering them. Actually, how am I rendering these options here? I forget, does Chakra have a... That's probably the problem. There's select option? Is that what it is? Maybe I just need to set a color. Let me inspect this thing. What's it got in it? It's probably just the device info doesn't have a label or something weird. Like whatever I'm pulling off of it, it doesn't have it. Let me just log out what we got going on there. We have 3 input device infos. I see. None of them have an input or label. Hmm. Enumerate devices. Media device info. Returns a string describing this, for example. Note, for security reasons, the label field is always blank unless an active media stream exists. Okay. So we'll get the media stream then. Which is kind of silly because then it's like chicken and the egg. Because essentially, what I ultimately want to do is I don't want to just pass a Boolean here. I want to be able to do device ID. And I guess we really don't need to worry about that. But so yeah, ideally I want device ID. I guess it's exact. And then it would be audio device ID. And then I would change this to device ID. And that would be a string. Although what does it not like about that? Oh, options, because I'm not destructuring it. Gotcha. And actually for this, we're just going to go false. We'll just simplify it for now since we're not going to do video yet. So I think this... Might as well refresh it when we get the user media. So we have this select. Guess we'll see if this gets populated here. At the very least, we can do whether it has the device label, or we can do the device. What was it here? Kind. And actually, we're going to filter this. We might make two discrete lists up here in this provider where we have the audio and the video, and then we can just request just the video if we want to, or just the audio. But for now, we can kind of just do this here. So we can let's do a quick filter on this real quick. Yeah, I'll just do just the audio inputs. And then I guess over here in the, where'd my room go? There we go. I might expand on this real quick. So I think we'll probably just do like a media controls. And then we'll have two different things. We'll have like essentially both the media device select, but also like some sort of toggle. I can basically say like turn on my mic. Does it call it a toggle or a switch? Yeah, switch. Yeah, they come from the same library. You can just do the one line there. And then we'll do the media select, device select. Actually, do I have React icons in here yet? Guess not. So we'll add that real quick. Yeah, I'm not sure what they were doing here. Not sure what cursor was doing there. Although I do forget the props of the switch, but I was just gonna basically if media stream, then it's on. And then on change, so I'll do Handle toggle mic. Sure about this. I understand stopping it, but let's see what it's all available off the media stream. But we will do get user media. And then we need to update those types. Yeah. Audio device ID. Okay. And actually, what does this take? What does it get? What does it get? So we need get user media, media stream. Gotcha. So really it's if target.checked, and then that's, and then we do this separate if we wanted to shut stuff down. But actually I think that should be the job of we should have like a clear media stream or something like that on the provider. So for now we won't do anything with that, but we'll something along these lines. Clear media stream. Yeah, we don't need to check for it anymore. Essentially, we're going to do a flex here, the gap of 3 or so. And yeah, we'll have icon. And then if media stream, yeah, we'll have the mic on or we'll have the mic off. And then we'll have a gap here as well. Maybe a little bit bigger gap. So over here, we're just going to change this to this media controls thing that will set up. That'll be like the one-stop shop for people to set up their stuff right now, just temporarily, till it needs to grow up. Okay, so over here, oh yeah, default checked. So we got our allow. Okay, cool. All right. So we have our media devices. The audio is enabled. We'll have to set this up to essentially on select, choose these different ones. All right. So actually, I don't really need that color thing. That was naive. Handle change. Although, yeah, I guess that's what we want to do. We might actually change that to be a state of just like the device ID that gets set, and then that then initiates the user media change, maybe, instead of it have it be a little bit more controlled in the provider, instead of just like, as well as then being able to maybe just store that device ID for later purposes, assuming that it's still in the list, something along those lines. So, okay. All right, so now we should probably just make sure that we are getting a stream. Maybe we'll do a little visualizer or something. Could do a media stream waveform or something like that. So we're going to want to get the media stream. This is actually going to be, I think I'm just going to do like SVG. How do I want to set this up? Let me check out the docs on media stream real quick. Get audio tracks. Okay. So I think, well, I guess if I set the, yeah, I might have to set like an audio tag up in that provider. And then potentially have a reference. Or can you just get everything off the media stream? No. So we can get a media stream track. can see whether it's mute or unmute, which I think is just triggered via the stop, right? The stop mutes it. Oh no, maybe it just stops it. Oh, it's a property of muted. Got it. Got it. Guess I want to see if there's a way. No, I'm gonna have to set up like an audio context, I think, in order to then like do the waveform stuff. So with the throw that's an audio track. Let's do audio context. Yeah, reset this up. And then the audio node, yeah. Okay. Cool. So the thing is, I might end up needing that autoplay. I forget if you actually have to play it if you end up setting the source on that. We'll see. So essentially, once we get the media stream, yeah, we'll set the source object, we'll set it to the stream. And then I think I might actually have to pass that as well. That should be audio ref current. Why is that not like this? Oh, I know. Because you got to do it here. Sorry, 11:30. That's what you get. I'm over here in code mode, just setting up the types on this, and gonna pass this audio ref down in case I need it. But I'll probably actually, more times than not, I'm probably actually gonna want to do all the destructuring and get to the context and get to like the root, so that way I can pass the get all that busy work out up here, and then that way I can just give a reference to then be able to pull off the audio stream stuff for like waveform stuff like that. But We'll see how far this gets us. So if I have the audio ref, and then for now, I guess I'll create a audio context ref. And if I have that, I'll grab the new audio context. And then I'll do a little memo action, I think. No. I actually don't think I need the memo. But I do need to, well, no, I guess well, actually, I don't need the current. So if I have the media stream source, it's more of a if. Connect gets an audio node. So actually, I probably should just move this to a memo. Audio node. So then I need the analyzer. This is the grunt work I was talking about. It's like, or can I just get the audio from the audio context, the audio analyzer? And then I forget what his audio node gave me. Then I need to get the byte frequency data, right? So now that I have the frequency data, all right, let me yeah, I don't think that's right. Gonna open up a quick reference real quick. Let me just see how I was setting this. So I have the analyzer node, which I have in the state. So the source node we connect to, the analyzer. We set the analyzer. I see. Actually, I might just. Yeah, I'm just going to jack this real quick. Jacka. So, and then I'll fill in the blanks. So, from the audio context, we were grabbing an audio context. So we're using the media devices provider, and we need a audio context. And guess we would set that based off of that. And it would be audio ref.current. Let me go check this out real quick. So the audio context gets set. Oh, yeah. Okay. And then we also have to potentially resume it. That's right. So audio context is state. When we get the user media, we will do this, and then we will set up our references here. And we'll add this to our global stuff. Actually, I don't have one of those in this project yet. Guess we'll do that. Types. Global.d.ts. We'll just set that. I forget if you have to reference that in the TS config. Well, that and did I put that in the wrong library? Yeah. We'll move that up. Let's see here. I think that's where we want to move it. It's a good time for cursor. Oh, if that's the case, I'll move it out here. Did that work? No, I didn't mean audio context. So basically, yeah, we'll set the source object, we'll do that, we'll initiate the audio context, and then audio context is also something we will share via this. I need to do an export here. Is that going to make it all better? Oh, it did. Cool. All right. So we'll add our media devices. We'll have our audio context. That'll be good. Now we need to get a reference to our audio context, which we'll get through use media devices. It's from hooks. Oh, that's from the library. Well, maybe we might want to move that into the React library. We'll see. Okay. Fix up some stuff here. What am I missing? Bar count? Okay. So if this is working, I will see. But basically, if this is working right, I should be able to get like a little waveform thing, and then we'll tweak it here and there. So we'll add this right next to here. And then we need to add the export for it. Do we need to add the export from media? No, we got that. Has no exported. It should. Unless it wasn't a media stream waveform. There we go. I think this will do it. Where's source node sourced from? We pass that in. Audio buffer source node. It's amazing all the levels you have to do just to get to just to get to extracting some of this stuff. It's like nested 8 levels deep. So yeah, I think this is even up one more level. Yeah, audio player provider. Media elements, source node ref. Create media element source. And then that passes an audio ref. Okay. So we need to add this to our I'll try to walk you all through this once I get there. So one more thing to go. We need the media stream source ref kind of thing here. And then we have the audio context. We need this ref. And then I guess I'll just do this media element audio source node. And then we'll grab that current from there. So we need a media element audio source node. And then we need our media element audio source node. And then we don't need this source node, but we will just get it from the context. And then we'll just pull it in as source node. Okay. I feel like we're almost after all these hoops, I think we're close. Actually, I might not end up needing this. No, I do need the audio context. All right, thanks for the reminder. Get more viewers, cheap viewers. Yeah, we're pretty close. So let's go back to this page. I guess we can go check out the. All right, I see something there. Let's see if we're getting any audio. No. We at least do have our bars here. And then I'll figure out what's going on with the wiring up. See what kind of data we're getting. I guess we'll see if we have our. So if we set the audio context, which we're setting here, and then we're checking to see if we have a ref, which we would, and then we're setting our media element source to this ref. I think that would do it. Let's see what we're getting here. Well, actually, let's just do a twofer. We'll just see what we're getting for the source node and the audio context here. So I think that's pretty much like the major linchpins as far as getting this stuff to render. So we do have an audio context. It might need that autoplay. Let's see if it does. Because it's probably not like initiating playback. So if you turn this on, and it's an audio source, and I'm hearing the audio. But no waveform. So let's see what we're pulling off. Which is in the waveform. Actually, I might have to have this muted. Echoville. But clearly something in the setup is not super happy. But and actually muted is probably not gonna be good. All right, so let's see what we're working with here. The real question is it getting into. So we basically have all our SVG stuff here. We have this just kind of like set up. Actually, I'm just gonna do that. Render our bars essentially. I guess the question is it getting in here and is it getting any information? from here. So essentially we just have a little request animation frame that's sitting there spinning on it and trying to pull data, and it's not getting audio. So it's something about how we've configured maybe it's the source object. So if I set the source object and then we do audio current ref play, is that going to make it better? So basically set the source object, set it to play, and you're looking at the wrong code because eCam just can't get it straight. At least I caught it. So yeah, so I turn it on. I set it to the microphone. I'm not getting any bytes, but it is up and running and drawing and trying to do something. So now it's just a matter of figuring out how to go about and getting this this media stream to essentially, and maybe there's another way around this. Maybe I actually don't need to do it in here. Maybe I can via the audio context. Well, no, I have to do it to get the source node, media element source node, which is the thing that I'm able to pull the audio off of. So maybe because it's muted. Just make sure you're looking at the right window still. So maybe because it's muted. So check. You know, I'd actually have this. I'm going to go mute that. I'm going to go see what I have set up over in transits. And eCam, you're really bumming me out. Bumming me out. So I'm going to pull up another project real quick. Just for reference. Since I know I have a visualizer on this one. And it's piped into microphone. So just a second while I find the project. Or not really the project, but the app within the project. It's kind of a bit of a junk drawer right now. Well, this one's definitely in the works. Is it all in here? That's all file system stuff. Oh, here it is. Yay, nay. I thought it was. Yeah, there's a lot going on in this project. There we go. Oh yeah, even more stuff. Cool. So what am I doing here? Stream instance. So it's the media stream. I'm creating the media stream source. Maybe that's my problem. It needs to be create media stream source, and I just need to do the media stream. Media stream audio source node. Media stream audio source node. Super verbose, which means that I only need to set this if I can basically do it all in line when I get the stream instance, and set everything to state. Okay. I do need the audio context. Don't know where those came from. But actually, I don't need this. I don't think I need to resume anything. And then I can basically see, I can set this as a const. do need the ref of that right there. And then this will be stream. And I will set the media stream audio source node. So we'll set this, change this to a state. It's like the gnarliest, the gnarliest state. Media stream audio source node. I'll update our context real quick. And then I think once I get this in here, I'm gonna call it a night. Media stream audio source node. Media stream audio source. Forgot the R. Okay. So we don't need this. Cool. I like getting rid of code. I'm not even sure if we need. Let me see what I'm doing back here. Yeah, I'm just almost saying that. No, audio context is being saved, but it's being saved to state. So, and I actually already have that, so I don't need the ref. And I don't need the audio ref anymore, so I can get rid of all these refs, which is cool. And this will just be const audio context. Make sure you're looking at the right thing. Audio context. Again, we don't have the ref. So we'll set the audio source node. We'll set all that. We'll refresh the streams. We're not going to be sending the audio ref because we don't have one. We're going to get rid of the audio here. We'll remove the audio ref from the context. Okay. And then here we will get the media stream audio source node, and we'll set that as the source node. And we'll see what we get. All right, cool. So if I turn this on, I set it to a mic with input, and we have waveform. It's not a good looking waveform. And it kind of sounds like shit. It's also rendering it. So I have to figure out how can mute that. Let's actually see if loopback looks better. Hey. Yeah, super choppy. All right, yeah, I'll have to figure out how to mute it, but at least it's working. Actually, I'm not sure if people can hear that. Hopefully they can't. And if I turn that off, no. Oh, that sounds better. Maybe. Does it sound better? I don't know. Maybe. Okay, cool. And we don't need all those draws rendering in the consoles. It doesn't help anything. What other consoles do we have? We need debugs. Yeah, we don't need you anymore. Okay, so we have some waveforms rendering. We have a device selector. I'll have to see if it's actually changing it to the right one, but it may or may not. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely different than what I'm getting on this one. So it's changing it. All right. So I feel pretty good about this. Just little little wins. Cool. We're starting to build up some of the pieces and parts. And then I have to figure out how I can maybe disable the audio output right now. Cool. So yeah, cursor, come on, man. Or not cursor. Ecamm. So yeah, we have basically this has ended up being the media devices provider, which is actually smaller than I thought it was going to be. Once we kind of peeled all the parts of the onion to get to this media stream audio source node. Are there other options you can pass in here in addition to the audio? I guess echo cancellation. Check. Actually kind of sounds worse. Yeah. Echo cancellation. Not sounding so hot. It also doesn't help that man, really. Curse or ecamm. Killing me. I literally go in and set it, and then it just falls back to any project that I don't want to actually show. Is there something I can do on this stream? This is basically what I can do to turn it off, I think. So in our media controls, see. So actually, this is wrong. If the thing is checked, we want the media. If it's not checked, we want to disable the media. And this is where I feel like we should have the device ID be sticky in the provider and not have this thing like resetting it when it's done. So I'm going to make that quick change. So it's not going to take any options. And audio device IDs. We had is it media device select? Yeah, we'll just create a audio device ID thing here. And then we'll have a set audio device ID, I guess. That it to the context. And then also the set audio device ID. And I guess if we still need that. I guess if audio device ID gets that, we need to then call get user media again. And this will be audio device ID. I really need to figure out how to mute that track. I think I have that set up somewhere in transmits, but we shall see. We shall see. All right, so back over here in this mode, that should enable it. That should set it to a new input. Maybe. Did it do it? Hey, is it right now? Okay. And then this should turn it off, which it does. Okay. Cool. So that's a good spot to leave it for now. This whole thing is probably going to get really condensed down. This thing will probably go out to some sort of menu or something that we can hang off of this microphone with like an arrow. The waveform thing will probably be tucked under a user or thrown in like little things. It'll be something a little bit different than this. But again, it's just all about having the pieces and parts set up so we can use them. Oh, that site header's looking atrocious real quick. Hold on, let's get that. We got line items real quick. Is that gonna look better now? don't know what's going on with this thing. Or maybe there's another flex going on here. No, that should be it. What's it got on? It's making it so high. Oh, I see. I had an aligned self on it, so it kept it up high. All right, that looks a little bit better. Cool. So, yeah, let's turn this back on again. Is it working? If I turn that off and I turn it back on, and it's the same input, I think. Hey, sorry for for people on the screen. Sorry, not very responsive. Hey, there's just my night voice. So where's that media controls real quick? Yeah, this too also just needs to have some alignments. There we go. We'll get at least all lined up. Cool. So I'm gonna end it there. Thanks for joining. If anyone's jamming on something, let me know. I'm down to talk about it. We can also jump on the stream sometime. If you ever want to share what you're working on. And as far as me, I'm gonna just kind of keep I guess keep streaming these this week as I kind of chip away on updating some of this stuff. But feeling pretty good right here. I'm gonna try to figure out a way of not having the echo on the microphone when that's enabled. And then essentially now that we have this stream, we can start sending that up and sharing the setting up all like the WebRTC stuff. And yeah. So we'll see. I just gotta tweak some stuff real quick. That's a little bit better. And maybe two is a sweet spot. Okay. All right. So cool. Thanks for joining me on the stream. Hopefully it was kind of interesting, not too boring. Hopefully you've discovered some new tunes. And yeah, just going to keep chipping away at Skylounge. So skylounge.social if you want to get updates on when the beta goes live, just go sign up for the newsletter there. And we'll see how this goes. All right. Have a great one. Later.